So correctly targeting your Facebook ads campaign is actually one of the most important part of running Facebook ads. This part of the process is also directly linked to your choice in marketing angles, creatives, but there are three main targeting types that I want to share with you in this video. You definitely want to make sure that you're familiar with how to position and how to target the right people before running ads, or else your market won't resonate with the message that you're trying to broadcast. And in shorter terms and much more harsher words, you just won't have any sales. So in today's video, I'll be showing you what targeting techniques and in what order you want to target people while running Facebook ads to really ensure that you're only bringing in new customers. That's right, a lot of people speak on YouTube about cold targeting, so bringing new audiences to your brand, you know, what we commonly refer to as tough or top of funnel, without ever mentioning audience exclusions, which I'm going to cover in this video. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency where we help e-commerce businesses generate more revenue through paid advertising. So before we get started, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, as well as turn on post notifications. That way you'll be one of the first to know when I upload a new video every week on this channel to give you some even more cutting edge marketing tips for your e-commerce brand. So to begin this video, there's no other way to start this video than speaking of the beast itself, interest-based targeting. There used to be a technique called laser focus, which people would use with interest-based targeting, which doesn't work as well anymore, which is essentially targeting a super specific and really narrow audience and really make sure you pinpoint pretty much the exact person you want to Facebook. So people used to stack up essentially interest and then really make sure that they had a pretty small audience, whereas now things have changed quite a lot. What's really recommended for you to do when using interest-based targeting is doing a bit of a mix between a broad and an interest-based audience. So you want to make sure that your interest pool is still pretty broad, so you have, you know, at least 300,000 people in your audience whenever you're doing that. I personally recommend a couple millions, honestly, if you really want to make sure that you have as broad as an audience as possible if your market allows it. So if we take the example of a skincare brand as an example, so again, skincare brand, you know, you could target as an interest cosmetics, and then from there essentially you run ads to people essentially that are interested into cosmetics. Obviously in your interest base you can also narrow down with age and gender, so you could put only females from 18 to 35, let's say, in Canada and the US that are interested in cosmetics. This is still a full-fledged interest-based targeting. This is honestly recommended for you to start if you're, you know, just starting ads, you got a new business manager, you know, new brand, new pixel, and or you potentially already had that pixel for a while, but you're just getting started with ads. Definitely start with some interest-based targeting to get some people through your funnel. Earlier, I mentioned something called laser focus, which is still possible with interest-based targeting, but I'll mention more about that later in this video when speaking about broad audiences. So now, as promised, as mentioned early on in this video, I was going to talk about exclusions. You know, what are, first of all, exclusions? And let me share with you something that you won't see anywhere else on YouTube: the ad or the audience targeting exclusion pyramid. So as you can see on screen right now, essentially you've got, you know, different sort of levels to your audiences. You know, people that know you a lot, people that have purchased from you, people that follow you on Instagram, people that just do not know from you at all, which are, you know, people in those interest and broad targeting audiences. The problem with what everyone is putting out there on YouTube is that they're not talking about audience exclusions, which means that in your interest-based audience, let me put it that way, if you already have an existing customer pool, what could happen is that if you're only targeting cosmetics, then you could at some point show ads to people that already know about you, and the thing is they won't resonate with the type of message that you would show to new customers. So the thing is, and the trick here is that by using exclusions, you're making sure that you're excluding any people that should not see these ads. So in this case, you know, the first, you know, step in this pyramid won't see any other of the targeting. So people essentially, if we're targeting somebody at the top, so at the top of the funnel, people that just do not know about you, then we'll exclude anybody who could possibly have heard of you. So, you know, we'll exclude followers, we'll exclude people that have purchased from you or viewed the website. Those are the three main audiences that you want to exclude. You know, there's a couple more that you can put in there just to make sure, but the three mains are: you want to exclude people that have viewed your site, people that have purchased from you in the past or people that just simply follow you on social media. This way, you're entering just a fresh pool of people that just never heard of you, so fresh new eyes, and you can really target the right message to these guys. And just a quick tip, for targeting top of funnel audiences, you want to go essentially with marketing angles. So you want to talk about a specific problem, a specific solution. So again, if we're thinking about skincare, we could go the route of talking about a certain skin type problem. If you're having acne, then how can you fix that with these products? So take a certain angle. Could also be something about the current time of the year. So for end of summer or back to school as an example, is something super popular now. So back to school itself is an angle that you talk about with your message. Now, the second audience type that you want to target as soon as you're starting to get a couple purchases and some sales from your interest-based audiences are lookalikes. I'd say lookalikes are a little tricky and they're a bit of a fickle beast, as a couple months back, I remember everyone in the market saying that, oh, lookalikes, do not work, they're bad, they're really bad for your business. And as opposed to a year or so ago where people were praising them and now they're back, so they seem to be at least back alive. What a lookalike audience is basically an audience that Facebook creates based on a certain behavior. So as an example, what you could create, and one of the most common lookalike audience that you'll find, in your marketing strategies or in other successful businesses out there, is a lookalike based on a 1% affinity with your purchases. So this means that you basically upload to Facebook your client list or people that have purchased in the past from you, and then you tell Facebook, look for commonalities between all of these people and then find me some people that look, as close as, just a 1% gap with essentially what these people look like. That's essentially the best way I can sort of frame how lookalike audiences work, but definitely, is a killer. It's something to try. Again, you cannot try that off the bat as you don't have any data. Obviously, there's some people out there that have tried, running lookalikes based on Instagram audience, but really the one that you will most commonly use and see that you'll find success with are lookalike based on your client list, based on people that again have purchased. And another one that you'll see a lot is a lookalike based on video views. So that's also something that you can do with lookalikes. So you can create an audience based on people that viewed your video for a certain amount of time. So anything that is above 50%, so half of your videos, shows a good engagement with them. So if you target a lookalike, audience, or create a lookalike audience, I should say, based on 50% video views, there's a good chances that this will work well for you. Then the last audience you'll want to try with your new Facebook ads strategy are broad audiences. So by broad, I mean really, really broad. So we mean like a super big audience with, tens of millions of people at times. So, the difference between a broad audience and an interest-based audience is that you just don't put any interest. You just base yourself off of demographics. So you could, as an example, target only men between 18 and 55, and that's it. Those are the only restrictions that you give Facebook, meaning that this audience is super wide. These men could like literally anything in the world, but you'll basically trust Facebook algorithm to do the work for you. So the reason why I'm putting this audience in the third spot for this video is that you cannot really start with this, as your pixel will be fresh, your pixel won't really have any data, and the pixel is super important when you run ads. The pixel is this thing that Facebook has on your site, and that essentially gathers data about your customers' behavior, about who is more likely to purchase on your site, who clicks on the ads, and essentially Facebook gathers this whole pool of data and creates a little bit of a buyer's persona based on your brand. So that said, you need to start with interest-based, with lookalikes, get enough data to power up the algorithm and make sure that it's on your side. Now, as I said earlier, I was gonna get back to laser-focused ad strategy. So let me share that hidden secret with you right now. So the best way to make broad audiences work is by targeting your marketing message, so your copy, so the copywriting, the text, part of your ad, and your creative so narrowly that Facebook will definitely find, the right person to target for your ad. What I mean by that is if you go broad and you just broadcast, again, just a really broad message, then no one will really resonate with that. It'll appeal to everyone and no one at the same time. Whereas, if I'm just giving you an idea and going back on skincare and back to school, you're saying you're targeting, let's say, only girls, let's put it that way, girls or women, I should say, from 16 to 25, and then from there you're saying, in this age range, they're probably still in school, right? They're pretty young. So that is an assumption you're making based on your audience. And then what you're doing with your copy is you're talking about back to school. You're saying, hey, you're getting back to school, you're feeling stressed with this move, maybe you're breaking out because of that. So you're appealing to a student who's going back to school and potentially has skincare problems. You know, there's not a lot of people who's going to resonate with that. So definitely you're going to find a market within this. And then with your creative, you're also speaking exactly to that same person. You keep all of this in mind. So then you may have potentially, you know, someone with like a school bus in the back, and then you see, you know, a zit or something, and then they're just like, it's a little video or a skit or something, and then they're using your product, and then boom, you know, finally they make it work, you know, make it disappear. So in that case, basically you take the customer from being a student who's stressed, who's going back to school, and then, you know, they need a solution for their skin, and then you're offering the solution. So this is how you can sort of laser focus your strategy through broad audiences. So instead of putting your targeting again in the audience, so in the audience section, your targeting is going to be put at the ad in, you know, creative level. So with that said, you should be pretty much set to get up and running, start your own Facebook ads, you know, launch your first few Facebook ads or your new bunch of ads, you know, if you've already been running ads on Facebook. Start with interest, then lead with lookalike audiences, and finish things off with broad audiences. And do not forget to have the right marketing angle, the right message, and the right creative if you're using broad audiences. If you'd like a more detailed video based on that, so how to create the right angle, the right message for broad audiences, then leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure to record a video if there's enough people that wants to see this in the upcoming weeks. Now, if you'd like a partner to help you with your Facebook ads strategy, or help you get to 6, you know, or from 6 to 7 figures with your e-commerce brand, I invite you to click on the first link in the description and down below, which will lead you to Wizo Media, our agency's website, for you to book just a really short 15-minute demo call with myself, which on there, you know, we'll have a quick chat about your brand, where you're at, and then see, you know, if you'd be a good fit for our e-commerce marketing program. Worst comes to worst, you leave with a free action plan, you know, a free audit of your account, free audit of your business, and then you'll be able to apply all of that knowledge on your own. On that note, make sure one more time to leave a like on this video, and then stay tuned for next week's video. See you guys soon. Peace.